Hey, all right. Welcome to Rant to Chill. I'm Mr. Deadman. On this channel, I like to rant and I like to chill. Here we're going to be ranting a little bit and to follow up to the Breadtube video that I did, which I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it too. Press the thumbs up button if you're pro-capitalism. Press the thumbs down button if you're pro-commie. And we're going to get into it here. Look, and I say that as someone who, I'm pro-capitalism because I want people to actually own property, actually own their wealth, and not have the threat of the government to seize it at any time, which is something that can happen in any communist society where, let's say China or Russia, where, yeah, you could start up a business. You could create an IP. You could gain some wealth, become middle class, actually become rich even. But at any time, the government, for no notice whatsoever, can seize your assets, seize your money, seize your IP that you created. It is the reason why certain tech startups from Russia will come over to other countries to try to prevent that from happening. If you don't believe me, ask around. Ask around. That's what I'm pro. I want people to actually be able to own their stuff, own their business, own their money. All right? That's what I like. Now, Breadtubers, on the other hand, seem to be against that. Breadtubers, on the other hand, definitely are against that if you make a certain amount and they're like, oh, we need to eat the rich now. Never mind the fact that they themselves get rich on that rhetoric, and never mind the fact that the politicians that they support are very rich themselves from corporate sponsors, insider trading, and of course the nice salary they receive, which for me would be pretty nice, but I guess other people say that's not a lot of money. For me, that alone would be enough. Anyway, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Breadtubers is a term used to identify people, content creators that do the communist stuff. Okay, I say they're hypocrites because they bash capitalism, promote communism, and not just the light socialist stuff. We're talking about eat the rich communist rhetoric, while taking money from corporate sponsors, ads, and of course, their viewers. Their viewers who work for a company, probably don't make a fair wage, probably complain about not making a fair wage, and they then listen to some guy like Vosh or whatever say that, oh, we need to do something about, or Hassan, that's a joke. I have to listen to him talk about how there's a wage issue and how people aren't making enough, and then be like, I worked hard for this money. I'm just going to hand this money over to a guy who already has a lot of money, living in a nice house, drives nice cars, definitely benefiting from capitalism. I almost said communism. Ooh. But definitely benefiting from capitalism there. Just going to go ahead and give him that money. Okay, that's a joke too. That's silly. I don't understand that. That's stupid. I mean, that might be why some people were triggered by that video. But it's like, that's the reality, dude. I hope you were triggered. I hope you wake up and realize that, like, you're wasting your money and the person you're supporting doesn't have your interest at all. Okay? That's the truth of it. Breadtubers that push that hard Marxist commie stuff, that rhetoric that isn't even practiced anymore, don't even know what they're talking about. Like, the reason why you can have a business in China and Russia is because, guess what? They've lightened up on their communism aspect. The only reason they are able to have a market like that anyway, to be able to compete with America, to compete with the West, is because they allowed for a little bit of capitalism to come in. They allowed their citizens to be able to make capital, be able to make money, be able to make a profit, okay? Be able to have something. But do they really have it when the government at any time can seize it? And of course, people will say, oh, that can happen in America. There needs to be due cause. There needs to be just cause. And if they do, you could challenge it. You could take them to court. Good luck doing that in Russia or in China, where you can be disappeared, okay? For various, like it's like these commie tanky guys, they really want that commie authoritative regime to really take over. They want that. I don't know why. I don't know why they want that, because, like, if you see what happens in Russia and China or Cuba, whatever, it's not good. It's not. Look at the history of it. It was never good. To initiate the communist utopia, there was a lot of blood. It was a huge revolution. Russia alone had, like, a revolution, like, 6 years. After that, there was still, like, tribunals and purges. And like, just confiscating land from peasants because they thought people thought they were making money and being a little too capitalistic, making money after selling the grain. So we got to take that land and punish those farmers, make them disappear. Oh, now we don't have farmers. We have this land. We don't know how to grow crops. Oh, now there's a famine. Oopsie doopsie. But at least they're not capitalists. At least we taught those capitalist pigs a lesson. Like, it's not, like, they push that rhetoric, push those ideas. Like, that's no good. That's no good. I do agree that capitalism run amok, where companies are allowed to become monopolies and have so much influence on government. They shouldn't have any government influence, honestly. They shouldn't have any. There shouldn't be any corporate sponsors involved in politics at all whatsoever. A corporation shouldn't be able to make a decision like that or be involved in that whatsoever. It makes no sense. That is a huge issue, because it's no longer about what people want and voting on things. It's now corporate interests, because they have the most money, they have the most power, they have the most persuasion, and they're involved. They're deeply involved in everything American. If you did try to go for your commie revolution, you know what it'll look like? Because, some people had a problem with what I said, I guess, towards the end of that video, my Breadtuber video, about, like, what to do with the system or with the issue. I said, learn how to game the system. Learn how to game it for yourself. Learn how to make wealth for yourself, make money, and live in it. Others were like, I guess they want to revolt. I guess they want to revolt and tear it down and go for a communist regime. Okay, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be a lot of a revolution, a lot of civil war. It's going to break. America's so big, it's going to be divided all sorts of places. And you're going to have corporations are not just going to disappear. They're going to try to profit off this any way they can, and they will profit off this. What they'll do is become very involved with certain sects of politicians and groups or whatever. They're very strong and have a lot of power, a lot of influence, to where you're actually going to end up with Pepsi-sponsored communism or Coca-Cola-sponsored communism. It's going to be, you'll get your communist regime, but then you're going to be stuck to what you have now, where you pretty much have like corporate interests very much involved, to where they become like state level. I'm very black-pilled on it. I don't think it would ever work. That's a video for another time, how revolution is just impossible. And I'll save my comments on that, because once it start, I'm not going to stop. And I need to sort them out, really. But it's not optimistic at all. Okay? I don't know why anyone would be optimistic. But anyway, that was about Breadtubers suck. Breadtubers do suck. And pushing the Marxist strong commie stuff is really stupid, when even communist countries don't practice full-on Marxism anymore, because it doesn't work. You don't make money that way. You can't compete that way. I'm so sorry, but it's true, and you know it is.